Well, hello. Hello. Thanks for coming back. This is ArtsyWisdom. My name is Diane. I'm finally catching up. I feel like I have so much energy now. I feel like I've been in a funk for, because of COVID and everything. But now I'm here. We're all settled in. And believe it or not, it's snowing outside. So sweatshirts and fireplaces on. Um, May 2nd. I know it's Canada, but crazy. Anyway, so today I thought I would catch up on a few things. And I'm going to look into Ukraine. I know they were struggling and then they got the funding. But I think Zelensky said a few days ago that it's very slow coming in, the funding or the ammunition or the materials or the equipment. It's taking a while to get in. And I wanted to kind of look at the country because I do visually assess. I look in my mind's eye and I see the country and see if any hot spots are going to happen or any big thing. Then also this protest, they're dismantling many of them or most of them across the country. And I believe that I think what the New York chief of police said, out of the 187 they arrested at Columbia, 30 or 35 were outsiders. They weren't students. So that tells you there's outside agitators, outside people coming in to do and to incite more violence. And I was glad to see Biden actually spoke up today. I was really frustrated because he's not showing any leadership in regards to this. I know he's a busy man and he's got a lot going on, but this is vital. If he didn't take any control over or speak about it, it feels like he's letting anarchy reign. And I know none of us want that. So I was glad to hear about that. I think he did okay. I'm glad he did it. Feels like it could be stronger. And he's going to have to continue and say something else again. He did talk about free speech, which we're all happy that we have. And dissent is a cornerstone of our democracy. And it's messy. Democracy is really messy. My Canadian friends don't get our American way of having government. And I don't a lot of the time either. But and how we speak to each other and how divisive it is right now. And this is different than any other time that I can remember. But I always say democracy is messy. We're not in charge by one head, like a king or a fascist or anything like that. We are running our government in 3 branches, and it takes all of us to be responsible, to vote for the people in, to yell about those who aren't doing a good job, peacefully, but yell and take action. And democracy is effort. We can sit back, but it's effort. And I'm sorry, I'm getting on my soapbox, diverging. And in regards to these protests, I wanted to see how outside influences from like China or Iran or other technology poor English, technological influences are being channeled through places like TikTok or YouTube. Social media is wonderful for a lot of reasons, but I think it can be manipulated, or I know it can be manipulated. So I'm going to look into those, kind of that big bundle of things. And I think that's it. And Trump's trial is continuing. I think, first of all, thank you. For all my new subscribers, all my views, all my likes and shares, and my comments, good and bad. I appreciate all of them. It helps me understand. And I love the little community I've getting to know and get to know all of you. I also wanted to I got a hit earlier, I think it was a few days ago, but I forgot to mention it. In the past, when it came to Australia, I saw this woman, it's personification of the island, or the continent, I guess it is. And she has this big kind of a Southern belle dress. And in the past, I've seen her like sweeping her cape across the land. And I saw polka dots. And it occurred to me when I don't know, it popped in my head that those polka dots they're on her dress, but it's more of, I realized they were, for lack of a better word, holes to mine in. They were like holes all over the country that I think they were black. It was white with black holes everywhere. and they're not in one location, they're all over. And I feel like it has to do with mining or drilling. Maybe it's, and I know they have gold and other resources and other metals there that are valuable. But it was something like that. And I feel like it's getting out of hand, or it feels like there's not a firewall or a guardrail. Wascally Wabbit. There's no guardrail. And I feel like they're everywhere. I don't think they're like animal holes, but there is, I don't know, there's some sort of mining or some sort of deep digging or tunneling. And again, maybe that's a symbolic thing for just mining or the construction of things. But it felt like it's all everywhere. I don't know. Anybody from Australia has any input about that? Let me know. But it was more clear this time when I looked at it. It wasn't just her dress. It was more white with the black everywhere. I don't know if animals dig holes or koalas, or I don't know. Maybe there's certain things dug in the land to protect from wildfires, but that was too regular and too many everywhere. So I don't think that was it. Okay. Side note, there you go. All right. So I wanted to look into, first I'm going to start with how the future of TikTok. I think that bill passed and they want TikTok to change ownership to stay here. I don't see that. I see that they will do that, but it won't be in a form that's legitimate. Okay, so this card, this is an African tale. This is the Wheel of Fortune, but this is a story about, golly, I can't remember this, kind of a shifty being who has a spider web, and they change, like shapeshift. So there you go. I think TikTok will be shape-shifting and creating a new version of itself that we may think it's right and we won't recognize. And then we are going to go, oh, you're lovely. Let's get married. Everything is going to be great. Thank you. Thank you. And this one, I think. And then this one. Yeah, and this is a partnership that we've been waiting for. And I think there's going to be, even according to this, more partnerships with maybe investment, because maybe this new entity, the shape-shifting ownership of TikTok through another entity, company, country, I think they might make it appealing to some investors that are new, either here or in another country, or bypass another country to invest in it so it looks like it's safe, but it's not. Because that's Three of Wands, which is the partners, and I think they're in the wings and they're waiting. And then I've got the Seven of Swords, which is stealing, sneakiness, getting away with something. I think they're going to do something, but it's not going to be enough, and it's going to be tricky dicky. Yeah. And I think it's going to be, if I'm just thinking in my mind's eye, they will do it. It's going to be years before they can change it again. I think it's going to be a stronghold for people from, well, the world is getting closer and closer. So the more our countries are all merged together eventually. But I think as time passes, at least 3 years, I feel like there will be, that it'll take at least that long before they can see the bad, or follow the chain of money, or follow the chain of I don't want to say anti-American, things that are pouring into the country, like spyware or things like that we aren't aware of, and getting information and taking it all over the world. And I think they're working on coming up with that. I think they already have a plan to do that. People are involved with TikTok, I mean. And it's going to take a while for us to understand what's going on. I don't think it will change, but it's going to be not good enough, and it'll be kind of they'll be sneaky and cheating in the background. TikTok. Okay, so that's part of the protest, part of the, like, I think some of the protests are even happening in Canada now on campuses, and Canada is very diverse. So there's a big communities, I think Palestinian, Middle East communities here, Indian, East Indian, and so there's been protests already here, but I think they were encouraged by the United States campus ones. All right, TikTok. And then I wanted to look at Ukraine. I sat for a second about Ukraine, and I've seen Ukraine as a poppy seed roll. Those of you who don't know what a poppy seed roll is, I make nut rolls every year for Christmas, family recipe. But poppy seed roll is basically a dough, and you spread poppy seed filling, and then you roll it up, bake it, and then you slice it and eat it. It's yummy. Not everybody's thing, but I love it. But Ukraine, I think of as a large poppy seed roll that hasn't been cut. But if you look at Ukraine if you're looking at it north and south, I see it like this, and I see Russia's coming, I think it's Kharkiv and Donetsk. I'm looking at my map. Donetsk and Kharkiv. And I feel like it is, if you look at it as a roll, it's like, I felt like a stab in my stomach. It's like being cut from the side. And then obviously the one side that they were getting, all the main fighting was cutting off the end of the poppy seed roll. It's still fairly thick and big, Ukraine, in that regard, if I'm imagining it like that. But it almost I feel like blood on that one side, on the northeast side, the closest to Russia by that Kharkiv and Donetsk. Like Russia's having an offensive there and really eating into Ukraine, I guess. I'm going to pull some cards. I do feel like Ukraine is losing some ground, obviously. And Zelensky looks tired. Last time I saw him. Let me pull this one. Queen of Coins. They feel like they're a little bit of alone. They feel like they are alone. They're trying to save what they have. They're trying to hold on to what they have, obviously. Some of it is not knowing what the future holds, but also they're being stingy, like with what they're getting. They're very careful about where they're going to put their resources. Soldiers, ammunition, machinery, guns, equipment, that sort of thing. I do feel like they're very happy that we're getting that money, but they also, the money from us. I've got the King of Coins and the Queen of Coins. So, oh, isn't this lovely? I'm looking at this turtle. This is the King of Coins. Look at the tree building on top, and I can see, and even, look at that top. Oh, it almost looks like the symbol of Ukraine. I know it's not exactly, but it reminds me of that. But the tree growing in the moon, slow, and it's not giving in. So I do feel like they're being attacked, and I think Russia will just go until they eat it all up and chew on it. But they have a lot of faith. They have a very deep belief, and sorry, my thing keeps dinging. And 10 of Coins. I think they're going to be okay down the road. Right now, their 10 of Coins is family. Right now, they're feeling pretty good. So now, just right now, I said they feel alone, but in general, I feel like my point is they are feeling alone and they're caring for themselves at the same time appreciating what they're getting. I do look forward to them having a lot stronger, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. This is just annoying. I do see that they're going to be strong and they're building up their resources. I can see them being triumphant is the word. Get the Emperor in the end. Lovely. As for timing's hard. I think they will lose a portion of their country. They're going to come up. But Russia is going to, I feel like, a year and a half still before they even come up with like a treaty or something, which is a long time for all the suffering they've been through. But at least a year and a half. Okay, so I was going to do the Trump trial, and the snow is pouring down like crazy. You'd think it's January. It's really pretty, but Trump trial, I think next week I told you there's gonna be a flash, like around Thursday or Friday, like there's gonna be a blow up of some kind. I don't know if it's Trump yelling or some sort of hullabaloo in the courtroom about it. So I decided I'll just get into Trump's energy as he's in the trial and also out in the public. I know he had that big rally yesterday in Wisconsin, I think, or Michigan, or both, and saying a lot of crazy stuff, scary stuff. But if I'm in his energy, as I sit in his energy, I feel like I'm rocking a little bit like this. I feel like I'm in the courtroom rocking. And I feel like my bottom is padded. I don't know if it's natural or fabric or some other thing. And I feel like a child, like, when is the teacher going to let us out kind of thing. That's the feeling I get. It's like I'm in school and I want to leave. I hate this. I don't want to be here. And in the past, I've seen his lawyers hand him papers and pens and stuff and keep him busy. And I know he's had one of his people prints off really positive stuff off the internet or newspaper clippings, and he has those, and he's always looking at those, give him a boost. It's like he's not emotional in this very moment. I don't feel like he's emotional. I don't know what's happening in the courtroom. He's waiting, so he's just sitting here. And I don't know if there was a break and they just sat down. He is looking at the jurors and studying them. His mind goes, how do I explain this? He's taking in them, not like a calculation, but he's thinking about the different people and how, not just how they'll vote for him or not, but how it's all influencing how he's being seen. He feels that he's, I know he feels like he's trapped and it's wrong. But I also feel like he's not mad at them. He feels like, how can I use them? How can I arrange them? How can I know he's a transactional guy, like have transactions with them in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if it's through looking at him or smiling or, but at the moment, he's just studying them whenever he can. I don't feel like it's like he's staring, but I do think he notices them and their mannerisms and the way they are. And there's someone to his left, like somebody on his table, and they're behind him a little, I think. And I feel like having to stand, the judge comes in, and this doesn't necessarily mean it's happening in this moment, but this is just like a scenario. And there's something red right here on the table. Piece of paper, something. And he's settled down, but now he's focused. Now he's not, he's rocking a little, but now he's more focused and more talking. So much talking. You keep saying the judge is talking. Everybody's talking. There's so much. It's like he can't just sit and be quiet. He's annoyed with all the talking. And talking about him or talking about the situation. And he feels so completely powerless. And I used, sometimes I feel rage with him. But right now I just feel like antsiness. Oh, sorry. Today is Thursday, so today I don't feel like it's super crazy. I feel like he's just sitting there waiting. Page of Wands. There's going to be, like I said, next week, Page of Wands. He is, I don't know if this is him. I think this might be him and his yelling outside the courtroom. It's like, look what they're doing to me. It's horrible. Justice. And he's stuck in this justice, which is over him. And Temperance. All these cards which are about staying calm within it and balancing everything. And see, tomorrow. Maybe I'll have the family in there tomorrow. More of the family. Eric might be back maybe tomorrow. See the 10 of Cups. Or maybe his people around him make him feel like he's actually okay, And they're actually going to take some risks. And then I got the Fool and the Devil. So they're going to take some risks. And then he's going to be unleashed. I feel like he's going to be unleashed this weekend. And he's going to really start to complain. All right. And then, yeah. And then he's going to get in some fights. He's going to be yelling. And he's going to blame Biden for the protests and yada, yada, yada. And, okay. Let's say a prayer for our country. Prayer for peace. Ask a question before you decide somebody's bad. Ask a question and find out their perspective. You can always disagree, but let's pray for peace in our country and move forward every day, figuring it out. Till next time.